Hey everybody, this is Erico and I'm back again on your computer screen, your iPhone screen, your phone screen, whatever screen you may be watching this on via YouTube. Hope you guys are doing well. Why? Because you're watching this video. So let's talk about this house on the hill that was created by a singer who's well known for being just an all around entrepreneur. He does interviews, he has his own show on YouTube, he hosts, he is just an all around personality. And he built this house on a hill full of his emotions. Each emotion is a brick. And it forms this house, and he wants to share it with the world. So he came out with his album, and it's been about a month. And of course, with that album comes a tour. So he decided he was going to do a North American tour. And he is going to so many cities that are off the grid to a lot of Korean pop artists. But he, being from America, being from Atlanta, Georgia, and also going independent. Once upon a time, he was signed to a label in Korea, and then he decided to break off and just do his own thing. And now he's doing all these different forms of art, and it's all coming together for him. And so he's doing this tour, and it shows back to back to back each night. And he's doing a lot of like club stops, and I got to go to one, and I was very excited because I didn't really know what to expect when going to an Eric Nam concert. However, I have been following him for years. I became an actual like legit fan of his when he released I Don't Know You Anymore. That song, my jam. I will say that going to the venue, it was very effortless. It wasn't a whole lot of waiting around. I know some people said that they went an hour before and they waited in this line. I did not go an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours before. I went in half an hour before the doors were legit supposed to open, and there was a line hanging out the door, and I just kind of stood there. It was maybe about 15 minutes at most, and then the line started moving, and we went inside, and it was two lines. There wasn't a lot of indication of what the two lines were. I didn't know which one was VIP, which one was a regular line. I was just standing in line, and finally, this woman and all these people were running back and forth. This woman was like, "Okay, I want to make sure, like, are you all just general admission? and who is VIP? like, let us know who is VIP." So people were like, "Yeah, that's the VIP line." So that's when I finally figured it out. So they were going through this whole other entrance. There was the detector for if some crazy person wants to bring in a pistol or something. I don't know who would want to try to harm Eric Nam. These two lines, it was very fast. It wasn't like a long line. It wasn't a whole lot of chaos. I will say that Eric Nam's fandom is very chill. They're mature. They talked amongst each other. I did not. Mostly because one, I didn't want to run into anybody that I knew. I wanted this concert to be very personal and just for myself. Like, you're a loner loser. You're a loser. No, myself. So finally, I get to the scanner. Of course, you put your stuff in the bucket. I joked around with the woman that was telling us what to do because I have a phone and then I have an iPod that looks like a phone. She was like, "Put both your phones in the basket." I'm like, "That's not actually a phone." I'm old school. I like having my music separated. I don't like taking up space on my phone. She was laughing. She was like, "Yeah, you got two phones for Eric Dom." No, only one, but his music is on that iPod though. So I get inside, and there's a bar, there's like a whole lot of stuff on the side. There are people who are wandering around. You see the stage is like a medium size. And I was looking at the stage and I'm like, I'm so interested, like, how is this gonna play out? How is this gonna be, like, presented? There were people crowded around the stage. So I found out that the VIP went through this other door that was actually close to, like, the general admissions door. But this was standing only, so there's no seats. The venue did have a second level to it, but that was closed off. Nobody was up there. Behind where the audience was supposed to be, there was like another bar. There was a bar on the side. There was mention of a merch stand. I did not see the merch stand. And I kind of deeply regret not seeing the merch stand. I'll talk about the ticket price. My ticket was like over $60. It was about 70 something. They were still selling general admissions. They were about like 60. The VIP was like a couple hundred. I think it was like a little over 100. I did not want to get the VIP because I read the details. They said you get a group picture with Eric Nam. I don't want a group picture. This is not graduation. And also, for the VIP, to be honest with you, since it's standing, yeah, you get to be like up near the front, but you could have got general admissions and got there around the time that I did and got a decent seat. Decent spot and still would have been able to see him, because this venue was very personal. It was less than 1,000 people. It might have been close to 1,000 people. I think it was pretty much less than 1,000 people. And as it got closer and closer to the time that the show was supposed to start, people started to come in, and I didn't really notice around me that the crowd was getting bigger until I looked behind me and I saw like all these people were coming in. There were people behind me. It was maximum capability because people were up against the wall. And then I think the only part that was not filled up was like near the bar, and that probably was for safety reasons and because they were still selling drinks and whatever else they had over there for people who want to get tipsy while looking at Eric Nam. So we stood there for a good almost 20 minutes before the opener act started, and that was Alexander Stewart. And it still breaks me, 'cause when you love someone, the feelings never go away. I was hoping you would feel the same. Now what? I ruined such a good thing. I do not know Alexander Stewart at all. I know him like his face, but I know nothing about his music or his career or anything like that. He seems super genuine, and I have to say I loved his pants. The like ripped pants he had on. It was regular jeans and it had like paint was splattered on them, and there were different colors. Loved his pants. He was very good live. I mean, artists that can actually sing live and like actually sing without any help, any backing track, any auto-tune, A+ in my book. I loved the songs even though I didn't know the lyrics to them. I definitely made a mental note of him, and I was like, I'm definitely gonna like see about his albums and his music because I was feeling it. But I think one of the gripes I had with the performance was that the sound system was kind of wacky a little bit. It was only like maybe one song, maybe two, where the dynamics of the music was overpowering his vocals. And I was like, I hope they get this together for Eric Nam. Like, I hope this is not happening during Eric's portion of this concert. He finally is like, yay, thank you guys, you know, I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Eric Nam, for having me as an opener. He basically skips, struts off stage. I'm like, oh, he was cute. His guitarist friend was cute as well. Then we're left again with the music from Pop Radio Top 100, and we're waiting again for another 20 minutes, standing there amongst each other, feet screaming in agony, legs screaming. Oh, it was just so much. You know, people are kind of just talking amongst each other. there were fans that were really dedicated. They came up with this whole thing that we were all gonna do with these hearts, that we're gonna take our phone flashlight and put it over the heart and wave it during his song Wildfire, which I thought was a very cute, great idea. I was definitely here for this, and I was glad to take part in it. You know, finally the lights dim and like everyone's like, ah! 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 Because it's like, we did not know what was going on with that wait. Maybe something's going on backstage. I really don't know, but finally the lights come on. And mind you, there were people setting up all these lights around the stage. And I'd seen some clips of how Eric loves to play with these lights and how they love to flicker and just look dazzling as he performs. And so I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready to see all of it. I'm ready to take it all in. So he started. There was a set where it was like just the outline of a house and it was white. And it fit the concept so well. It was simple, but still hits home, still serves the message well. So he comes on and he starts. I love how they played with the overall background lighting of the house, red colors, blue colors. He comes on, walks around the outside of the house, jumps through one of the windows, and he just starts going into full performer mode. Everyone is going crazy and screaming. I'm like, he looks really good in person. Sometimes I wish I wasn't me. He's taller than what I thought he was. He looks the exact same as you would see him on a show or on YouTube or anything like that. I was like, wow. I'm like, and he has charisma too. So he's performing. The sound system has gotten itself together. The sound guy's like, yeah, it's time for me to go all out now. This is the main opener. We're gonna do what we're supposed to do here. I just loved how the lights with each song were coordinated. I love how he was making eye contact with everybody in the room. He actually made a comment and he said that he felt very naked because it was so intimate and he could see everybody's face, which I was glad about. I made eye contact with him like multiple times during that performance, and I love how welcoming he seemed when he was talking. He has such a fun personality. He's funny. He's open. You feel like you're talking to a friend. You don't feel like this is a celebrity that you've seen and you've watched for years. The fans were receptive to him. There were people that had seen him multiple times during his tours and have come back to see him again. There was a boy in the audience that was diehard. He had his first album. I was like, get it, boy. Get it. I love it. He was holding it up. Eric saw it. He was like, that's ancient as hell. He's like, I don't know how you got that. I was like, I want to know how he got that. He got that from the black market. He had a segment where he had like a tea time. I was like, oh my God, don't do it. Don't do it. People are messy. People are freaky. We got freaks out here in this world. Don't do it, Eric. And he even knew what he was getting himself into. People were talking about their relationships, cheating on people cheating on them, different sexual orientations. Too much. Way too much. I'm like, okay. All right. And like, even he knew, like, yeah, it's time for me to move on now because this is too much. He was like, we might retire this. I'm like, yeah, you might want to. He had backup dancers with him. And I want to say this too. The videos you see of Eric non-performing do not do him justice at all. I didn't know he could dance like that. I didn't know he actually like is a dancer. Like we know he loves the hips. We know he loves the hip thrust and walk around, run around the stage. I did not know that he actually was coordinated in his dancing. I didn't know that he had so much stage presence when he danced. And can we talk about his backup dancers too? Adorable. From the time they hit that stage, they were smiling. They looked like they wanted to be there. They were dancing with Eric. Eric was having a good time. They were having a good time. They knew their cues. They knew when to go off stage and to come back. It all went together so well. You can tell they practiced. Like, they really were serious about this and they practiced. The band was on point. I loved how the guitarists were in the groove with it. Whenever he was trying to hype up the audience, the band, the dancers, all looked like they wanted to be there, and it helped the overall performance. Eric sang songs from his new album, House on a Hill. Love these songs. I just thought I was not expecting him to sound that good live either. No help at all. I mean, the songs like Wildfire, where he hits that like high octave note. Let's also discuss Eric Nam's love of water and how during the concert he assaulted me with water from a water bottle. Now, I saw the clips where he does that. I was not ready for it in real life. He must have somehow warned people that it was coming. I saw people cheering. I was looking away. And all of a sudden, it was like a waterfall. Like rain was coming from the heavens. I look up. He's saying, y'all need to turn up, and he's throwing water. I said, I'm melting. No, okay, no, I'm lying. I really didn't scream like that. I went more like, that's really what I did. And then he did it again. And I'm like, Eric, you're being mean now. Stop it. Stop. You know, I smile and I'm like, Eric, you naughty, naughty boy. Now, as far as the audience and the audience experience of being kind of mushed in there like sardines or packed in like a case of eggs, people stayed to themselves for the most part. There was an instance, though, where there were two girls that tried to kind of push their way into the front toward the VIP area, and they got in front of this one girl, and this girl, if you had seen her face, if looks could jump out and stab people to death, her look would have done that. She looked like she wanted to wring this girl's neck from behind. And it got so bad of her mean mugging this girl from behind that someone had to say something. They were like, there are short people here, and you're blocking the way. And, you know, finally they got the message and they moved. I was standing there and I was thanking God every day that I was born with a little bit of height. It's good to know that he has done something that's touched people and that has caused people to come together and to enjoy him and his music. There were people there and it was their birthday, and there were people there that have made sacrifices to be there, who absolutely love him and have loved him since he has started his journey. And I hope that he takes all of that in and that he's grateful for who he is, because if he wasn't who he is, he wouldn't have all of this. It's something to definitely be thankful for. But yeah, I just really enjoyed all of it. And so when it was coming to an end, I felt a sense of sadness, because it's like you're talking to someone that you enjoy being around, and then to have to say goodbye to them. And it's like, oh, like, this is just such a good time. I don't want it to end, you know? And then, you know, his encore that he did, which we knew was coming, because he winked his eye. He was like, yeah. People were screaming, like, sing congratulations. I was like, yes, please. Like, congratulations, I don't know you anymore. He did those songs toward the end because they're his more popular songs. Most people know those songs. He came back again. He did those songs. I was like, yeah. Oh. I was definitely grooving because those are my songs about him. Oh, it's just sad. Like, despite all of the hurt feet, my feet are still hurting. Ugh, even as we speak. My ringing ears and the waiting in between. I definitely had fun watching Eric Nam on his House on the Hill tour, and I would definitely see him again. So you guys, if you've seen Eric Nam on tour, how do you feel? Did you enjoy your experience? What was your favorite part about the show? Did you enjoy the venue you were at? Was it easy for you to get in? What was your experience? I want to hear below. Follow my social media, mostly my Instagram. Also a blog in East Asian pop culture. The link is always down in the description box below. And remember, be real, stay real, live in the real. And I will always be back. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.